out of everything. God damn.
Yeah.
That's
He's
the beauty of
still
roleplay.
on.
Sometimes you don't even need them around.
You don't even need him.
Yeah,
He said, "I don't
so
even
GM, you can go to
need him
sleep. We'll
around."
be out.
You don't need
We'll
to
take it from
until the
here.
scenery changes. You know?
We'll take it from here, Lou.
Just keep it going.
Oh, he's still in Discord, and he's back on here now. So
No, I just
That's
like
good.
everything
That's
cut out at the
Louis,
same
where are
time.
drinks?
Man, we don't even need him.
For real, we
That's
just need to
fucked
get the
up.
drinks for real. Like, yo.
For real, get the drinks, nigga.
What kind of drinks came, Lou?
Get the motherfucking drinks, nigga.
Been like 5 goddamn minutes when I'm still waiting for my
How long
goddamn
did it
drinks.
take?
Yo, you reduced
No,
the
like
fucking
everything,
Stop
like
casting a spell on this bitch.
everything just DC'd at once. Like all your videos just cut out. Fucking Discord
Damn.
Discord disconnected.
Damn.
Fucking all that shit stopped. I was like, what the fuck? I had to
I
like
was
turn.
gonna
I
say
had
that 3 p.m. shit.
Everyone who
Right.
has like, I'm gonna assume like if they have like,
I had to turn my
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi off and then back on with on my
Oh wow, that
laptop.
sucks.
They noticed that Icarus, like, her thought process is very rapid. So like, she'll be talking like she was talking to Quindamir, and then like a split second, she dropped that conversation, shifted to another person, and immediately dropped that conversation, as if like there are multiple thoughts that are like flowing in her head, and she's kind of like trying to grab onto one of them.
So she has
wow.
ADHD.
She an ADD person.
She got her will has been split because of her bloodline.
Sound like
Oh
She's
damn.
cross-blooded. That gives her the -2 to will.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
That's
So
gonna be
as-
fun.
Son.
So she heard
This
Waylon.
party is susceptible. I'm gonna tell you that right
She heard Waylon compliment the Elven language, and immediately she darts her attention to him and continues to speak in Elven. And goes, so you speak Elven as well? And would you say that's your preferred language of communication?
I would have to say, yeah, he's the most out of all the languages I know, he's the prettiest. So yeah.
It does seem like the Elven language kinds of how would I say it? Speaks in cursive. It is
But I
very
tell you what, as pretty as the
Speaking in
Elven
cursive.
language is, there's one particular language if we're talking about magic, and it looks to me like you know a thing or two about magic. If we're talking about magic, I prefer to talk in Draconic because there are certain terms in the Draconic lexicon that I can use that isn't so strenuous. You know, with the Elven language, there are certain ways that you describe magic are a little too, how would you say, fancy. You know, where when it comes to Draconic language, it's very straight to the point. It's about power and possession and dominance. You know, so when you can use those terms to talk about magic, then you're talking about magic in an artful manner. So yeah, Draconic, if you're talking about magic, everything else, Elven. That's how I prefer it.
She kind of like puts her heavier arms on the table and she goes, well, in my world, I would say magic is more archaic rather than elegant. Things are more chaotic and more liberating than organized. There's no restrictions, but sometimes that comes as a cost of losing oneself. I do admire people who can grasp hold of magic and can bend it to the will where it doesn't serve or it doesn't create a detrimental effect. Because some of us aren't like that. But we use what we can to make sure things work out and protect others, even if it costs us parts of ourselves. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get really philosophical. It's
Waylon looks over to Quentin and he goes, and you were worried about me blowing up our little shack. And here we have ourselves a little bomb walking right in our midst.
A little bomb. Quindamir kind of chuckles about the the analogy, and he goes, the comparison between him and Icarus here, and he goes, well, how I see it, brother, Icarus has good intentions, and that will serve us moving forward.
I'm glad to hear you say that because the bombs that I create also come with good intentions. So you make sure when you turn that judgment my way, you turn the same energy towards Icarus. If Icarus is absolved, then I am absolved is all I am saying. Let me blow up my things in peace.
There's a difference, though.
There's no difference.
There's a
The bombs
difference.
that make come with good intentions.
You
I'm
hear?
telling you. It's good
Yo, you
intention.
see, I'm sorry, yeah, but you see fucking, you see Nasir step up and just crack the whip on some pitbull shit. Why the fuck are we here? And you hear ask why in Elvin real quick. What are we doing here? Oh, he cracks the whip.
Okay, so he cracks the whip. As he cracks the whip, Icarus takes this quick glance at him, and immediately these flames just and he goes, I am not a fan of whips.
I'm not a fan of flames.
Waylon steps away from the table, his hands are up. He goes, whoa, wait a second.
You
Wait
see,
a minute.
Wait,
I'm not a fan of flames.
your hands burst out in flames?
My body bursts out in flames.
Are they like
Wait a
hot?
minute.
Is it like hot ass flames, or is it like
Wow.
Do you touch them?
I would, yeah.
Yes.
All right. It would definitely be the kind of thing where like I step up and I'm very slowly like trying to run my hands through them, like
outline it, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
are you taking damage now?
No, they're not like scorching. They're warm.
They feel warm,
Like,
yeah.
Oh,
They're
they
not-
emit
it's-
heat.
Yes, like
Okay.
it's
like
not
a
something
slight,
will-
like a slight warmth to it. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It won't damage you.
Okay.
As this interaction is going on, Caldum
Windermere's
just
eyes
crosses
is wide with that. It's like-
Caldum just crosses his arms and watches you all do your thing.
Oh, Caldum's acquainted with this kind of freaking interaction?
No,
Right.
just being quiet and observing.
Waylon backs away
okay.
from the table. He goes, wait a second. She didn't burst into flames. Did she just burst into flames? Brother, did she just burst into flames?
I think
Look
she
at
just burst into flames, my brother.
Look at these. The woman just burst into fucking flames.
You see the red part of her hair glow
Fucking
as
flames.
the white part of her hair kind of like becomes enshadowed, and she like immediately looks around and like can clearly see that people are watching, and like, I'm sorry, and like kind of like recedes everything back. You're right. We
see,
should move
You see,
forward.
Nasir wrap the whip up back around this forearm real quick. Say,
You are correct.
Yeah.
We should move forward.
We
Waylon
definitely
takes-
have a lot to. So Quindemir goes, obviously the reason why things happen is because clearly there's a lot of other things that we have to go ahead and talk. He gets that impression. And he looks at he goes, clearly we have a lot to catch up with. We have a lot to catch up here. Rakim, Nasir, Caldum, Waylon. We have a lot to talk about. I feel like we will be adventuring for some time. Hopefully, when we make camp, we can discuss more about where we've been and what we are doing.
Meerkat, you seem to have the knowledge and the foresight to see so many things. You saw Icarus coming to the table before she ever arrived. But what I cannot understand for the life of me, and I've been alive for over 40 years, I cannot understand why you cannot see when the wine is supposed to get to the table. Because it has been a long time, my friend.
Just about to ask about that. Let's go. Let's go.
Um,
Come on, barkeep.
you're right. I did not see the wine being late. I feel that something either might have happened, or maybe
She
it.
she's been
And
bringing.
then as he's trying to speak through it,
She's been bringing you guys your stuff in and out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. If
we
I
just
was-
didn't get the last drink, so
when-
this is
when the
canon. Okay, we
drinks-
tight.
She's doing.
Okay.
She's doing. She's doing that way. She's mastered that barmaid thing where like they come, drop their stuff, and go, and then you like you didn't even realize they were there. You're like, wait,
like-
did they?
Oh, food.
You're
Okay,
just
so,
out.
are we? Do we now realize we all have the drinks in front of us?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have our
Okay.
refreshments now.
Because what I would like to do then, right? I'm going to finally speak up, right?
Mhm.
So if we have the drinks in front of us now, I'm going to grab my sake, and I'm going to announce. I don't speak that much, but today I am reunited with family, with two brothers of mine that I have never met, and two brothers of mine that have been adopted into the family, and now an acquaintance of my mother, who we have all come together. And hang on a second.
What language are you speaking?
Elvin.
Easy.
Elvin.
Come
Come on.
on.
With Nasir,
And-
with Nasir, the only one who doesn't understand it.
And
He really does it.
in honor
Wow, did he learn from her then?
and in honor of Kaden Kalien, I
Damn.
make a toast for our first drink.
To prophecies.
Mm.
They still come true.
When Demir raises his glass before you even finish speaking, and
Because you knew that shit was coming.
I mean, it's just very small things. Obviously, anyone with the half brain would know where it was coming. It's just that he does it and he just adds another level. You know what I mean? Adds another notch on his seeing things ahead down. That's all, man. Little small acts of foresight. But he raises it right,
Sheldon
and he
Cooper over here.
All right.
he
So
raises his glass
while-
too, and you.
while you guys are raising glasses,
Yeah.
You translating?
Nasir and I
Yeah.
sort of like touch foreheads, pull out some pipes,
Mm.
All right.
and we toke up. As
Nice.
Oh,
Right.
What? I didn't know y'all actually smoked. Okay.
they got
Something
the
else that they
hobby
picked up-
gobby.
Something else that they picked up.
The hobby
Something else
gobby.
that they picked up from the Red Lotus. I see.
That's that all natural elven weed.
What did you? How did you think she met with Papa? We got in the apothecary business, right?
That's true. That's true. I swear
That is where she got it from, my friend. Papa grew it, she smoked it, and I see she passed that on to her newest students. Hotheads.
Quindemir smiles and he goes, may I? Maybe this will help me focus more on my studies. Maybe this will help open up my mind more to the spirit world.
Go
I
ahead,
never-
Meerkat. Enjoy yourself with some family bonding, is what they call it. That's what the kids are calling it these days, I hear. He raises his glass after he takes that last little smirking jab at Quendemir. He goes, I raise my glass to you as well, brother. Galdim, to family. Ikaras, to family. Rakim, everybody to family. To the barmaid family. Fuck it, who knows? The Red Lotus, man.
Blossoms everywhere, son.
It
Bro,
would
what
appear
is your-
that there are
what is
many
your
scenes of
charisma?
Red Lotus.
His Christmas bonus is 10. Let me stop.
Oh,
8. Actually, I don't know what his Christmas is, but I bet it's like
I'm pulling up his
6.
character sheet right now.
Bro, that shit gets frustrating if that's the case.
He said I get some frustrated.
Yo,
Why?
no,
It's a
I had
waste?
there was a game that I was in, and I was doing like this whole Southern charm
Yeah,
accent kind of deal,
yeah.
and I was coming up with these amazing fucking speeches, but my charisma was shit. And anytime I had to convince anybody of anything, I rolled like shit.
Damn.
And it would just be like, damn,
Your
it
DM
sounded
is
good,
being
but
lame, bro, because you're supposed to get a bonus for RP sub. You're
yeah,
supposed
bro.
to get a bonus. He didn't give you
well,
no +5?
that guy
Favorable
is
fucking
nah,
circumstances? Damn.
that guy is, as a DM, is terrible with that shit.
That's
that
fucked
in
up.
that particular campaign.
I'm role playing a +1 bonus to charisma.
See,
That's
yeah,
godlike.
A +1 bonus to charisma.
I mean, he's
and,
above average. That's
I
good.
like
and,
it.
yeah, and a +4 bonus to intelligence. So I'm trying to see if I was like highly intelligent and a little above average charisma, I probably would be like, all right, if I talk more, I could get more. Try to figure out ways to like talk my way into better situations.
Yep.
Right,
So I'm like,
right,
all right.
right.
That's
No,
what
that
I
makes
was hoping
sense.
for too, and I never got it.
Damn, that runs in the family, bro. That runs in the family.
Yeah, exactly.
High intelligence and a little bit of charisma. All right.
I'm just quiet about it.
Well, then he takes a smoke and he takes a couple of pulls and he goes, when you see like this billowing smoke coming out of his mouth, and he goes,
Did this shit
I
to
think
me.
the
I
whole
knew
time
there
you're
was
just
a
seeing me
reason
giving you
why
like
mother wanted us to meet you two. And he puts his arm around both of you here, and he has his drink still, and he goes, "You're right, brother. To Caldem, to family,
The whole time.
to new beginnings." And he looks at us. He looks at Icarus also, and takes a swig whenever, I guess, if everyone else is finished toasting to something.
So Ikari takes a swig, and like not even like a few minutes later, her
Oh,
face
I'm-
is like
I'm
flushed,
wondering whose weed.
Mm.
and she's like,
Did you give him a pipe? Because I didn't.
I did. I gave it.
No.
she goes, "You guys have to forgive me. I'm
Maybe I agree.
I'm kind of a I don't handle alcohol well, so
Mm.
I think this one glass will be enough for me." She kind of like
Fish, she's bopped.
She goes,
That-
wait, I have a letter to give you. I have a note.
Oh,
And she kind of pulls it out of her cloak and she puts it on the table.
is there a seal?
Does she have it? Is it a seal?
Yeah,
on
there's a
this?
seal on it. Seal of the Red Lotus.
Red Lotus seal? Oh,
Oh,
shoot.
She sets it on the table. She goes, I was told to give this to you. I don't know what it is. I didn't read it, so all of the information you receive will be new to me too.
When you place it on the table, like he was like mid like chuckle and like drinking and everything, kind of feeling good. And as you put on the table, it's just like flat affect. It's just like
Oh shit!
the reality of like getting back to business, right?
Right.
So
It still amazes me that mother still rather send letters than simply show up. You know what it is? I think she's for mother, she's never ever not been an adventurer. She treats everybody like an adventuring companion. Even her children. It's so crazy to me. Why are you sending a letter to your children when you can simply just show up?
And
Why
as
sneak into the house and lay down
He was about to
equipment
bring that
when
up.
you could simply just hand it to your children and see their faces when you haven't seen their faces for at least 2 decades? I'm curious about this woman.
Icarus kind of
As-
looks
this
a bit
is
surprised.
true, Caldem.
But as
Mama
Waylon
does
is
not like to
speaking-
see her children. You have
As-
been very lucky.
As Waylon is speaking, Caldem reached to the table to grab the letter.
Icarus looks a little surprised. She goes, "You haven't seen her? She's the one that hand delivered me the letter."
I
Hand
know
delivered.
people who
His
have
eyes open when you say hand delivered. Like
She goes,
that's what you hear.
That's not right.
You hear that?
And she
A
got-
Nigerian.
in a very-
Right now.
in
So
such a
like,
very in a
excuse
gener-
me, nigga.
in a very genuine voice. She kind of like her voice lowers. She goes, "I am so sorry. That's not fair to you all."
And as I have said
Oh, how
before,
gentle.
she has been training us for quite some time.
I don't know if that gives a pass for our not seeing the children.
Crazy.
Look at Raquel and I'm like,
Quintamir gets a little like he's just like drinking and stuff, and it's like a good thing that he's getting alcohol in him and whatnot, and actually processing what he's hearing. He knows that this is the case because
Maybe
he
she
read
gets
the
the
first
light.
letter.
While
But
you're
now that he's hearing
processing-
it, he's like, "Yo, like I got reason to actually hate these.
while
Y'all know my
you're-
mother better than I do."
while you're processing, I finish my drink and say, I look at Waylon and Quindamir and say, "My brothers, did she not visit you to tell you to meet with us today?"
You get an immediate brother.
Yeah.
Brother, tell him,
Simultaneous.
brother.
Waylon sucks his teeth and goes, all I remember is getting a letter. And I remember handing it to my brother that you see over there. He read a letter out loud. The letter gave us instructions on how to get here. She left us equipment and money. God bless. Thank you. She left something. Other than that, that's it.
Well, at least
Letters,
she
instructions.
gave you guys something. She didn't give me anything. She just told me to be here and to escort her 2 adopted sons with me.
You never met her, Caldem?
I did. I met her. She came to me in person.
look at
Oh,
That's
I look
why
at
I was
Raquel.
surprised.
You are
At
present.
That's why I
least
was
you got
surprised
to
that
smell
she did
her
not-
I look
here.
at Raquel and I
You
go,
got
she
to
gave you
smell
his
her hair,
hand.
Caldem.
I don't
You got
I don't
to
know.
you got to see her eyes. You got to touch
She
her
gave
skin.
his.
This man.
Lord's name be
Yeah.
praised.
For real, son.
So
Don't
the
worry
letter.
about it, brother.
So the letter.
I'm feeling pretty bad for my brothers, though. I
no.
mean, I've seen
Brother,
Mama Dukes a couple
man.
times. Like, what's going on here?
Sympathy, son.
I'm-
That's what we
I'm
need right
about to-
now.
I'm about to
Quindamir is
open up this
freaking
letter.
sulking, bro.
She's
So
the one that
Brother,
saved me.
the
That
letter
man
says.
would
I
rather-
struggled with her.
The
He
letter.
has spent so much time with mother, he would rather have golden equipment than have her presence. That is
Yo.
saying a lot about the Red Lotus. Let us move forward.
Yeah,
So the-
Quindamir is like sulking, but after he says that, he's like, yo.
The
What does
letter.
the letter say,
You know
brother?
what?
I cannot take one more moment of this.
I feel like I would actually walk up to Quindamir and I look at you and I'm like, I put my hand on your shoulder.
What's your strength score?
Thank you.
It's only a 12.
That's his next thing. Oh,
I
okay,
ain't even
good.
I ain't even squeezing.
All right.
Look, my brother, son.
I love it. I'm gonna say it to everybody now. You right, I should.
What's your
What's your stress score? You put
I
your
gotta
hand
do it
on
for
me.
everybody now. Everybody got that.
And I would say, perhaps it is elf nature to judge the non-full bloods, and I kind of side eye Caldem.
Hmm.
God damn, son.
This is for the elves
And
to
for that,
judge
I
the
apologize.
non-full-bloods.
But I assure you,
trying to start a fight already.
but I assure you, I'm sure she meant no disrespect.
Rakim, I have only just met you, and yet you have already given me more relief about my mother than Caldem.
Oh, shit. So
I'm the
Well, if
redheaded. I'm the
if we are-
redheaded, full-blooded child.
It will. To be
Right.
honest with you, Meerkat, it may be the truth that Rakim is speaking. Because Khaldim was the first, and clearly Mother was very much a Navi during that time of rearing children. We came after him, as you can see. We came out great, despite the fact that Mara was barely around. We're still gems, if you know what I mean. And then, of course, we have Rakim and Nasir. They may not be blood, but clearly they have our mannerism. And judging from how forgiving and understanding Rakim was, maybe the Red Lotus has changed in the past decade or two. Ay, ay, ay. Let's give him a chance, I guess.
It's almost like I feel that she has touched these people before us, and I shouldn't say these people. That's very unfair, especially to you, Caldem. It's not very.
What do you
It's not
mean,
every.
these people?
It's not every day. And I apologize to Caldem. Not even Rakiva to say that's crazy. But the point is that Cryptobir is coming to. He's basically saying that. All right, no. Let me go back to my RP.
Gotten some mommy issues.
I got.
Yeah, I fucked
Yo.
up right there. Hold on. Let me get back in the character.
Uh,
It's not. It basically it feels like these people have been touched by the Red Lotus. Mother has given us them, and through them do I feel her love. I must ask her if that was a part of her machinations. But until then, you can't miss what you've never had.
I think I believe her talk of chasing Brightney. Because if those two are a representation of her mannerisms now, then she's definitely a different woman than I remember from 30 years ago. It was the last time that I saw her.
From the
So,
from the stories, from the stories, brother, that you have told me growing up, it was not a fond recalling. That is all I have of mother's memories. So if you can see that there is a new side to mother from the way that she has been inviting these new characters into our life, inviting our brother back into our lives, then I am with you. And I look forward to seeing what mother's plans are for us and her family.
My brothers, I want to jump in here real quick because as the eldest one in the room and the one that has known mother the longest, I can assure you she has not changed.
Oh, she's still a piece of shit.
It
Damn.
saddens me. It saddens me that
Yo.
the last time any interaction was had with her for you, Waylon, was when you were 10 years old. That is very unfortunate. As for me, I've had several interactions with her over the last few decades. And with that said, she's gathered us all here for a reason. I'd like to read this letter.
all right.
The letter is there for you, man. You could, yeah, there you go. Yep.
The letter goes on to say, this young lady before you is Icarus.
Hmm.
As much as I'm sure some of my children would like to think I was out having a grand revelry in the lands of Avistan.
She knew she was being dragged, yo.
Exactly. So
She had that.
Quinterman even decides to put in 2 cents and say, she's putting it. No, wait to be modest, mom. That's what she.
She got that monk.
Wait.
It's that monk wisdom. She knew. She knew. She goes, Icarus here. It's a woman that I have rescued from the foul, shadowed lands of Nidal. She's part of a group known as the Twilight Talons for a little while, helping them out rescue slaves. She's here to be your guide around Sandpoint, as well as a comrade.
When he
She
reads the part about
she
rescue slaves, that's when Waylon looks over at the whip that Rakim has, and he goes, "Ah,
Yes, the
He
seer, the
said,
seer.
uh-huh.
no, like,
Uh-huh.
uh,
Slaves. That's crazy,
so she
son.
goes. However, as you can see, as I'm sure you can see upon meeting her, as she hands you this letter, she's gifted, and not just appearance-wise, but also within her. And I would like for her to hone those gifts by traveling with you. She will be of great assistance not only to you, but she needs to learn to be of assistance to herself. She has much trauma to work through, but I believe
Mm.
What's up,
along
baby?
your sides she'll find her way. Get to know her and the people of Sandpoint. I should be within the town in several days, possibly. If not, I will send word. For the time being, for the time being, please, please look out for one another. For the people of Sandpoint, there are things lurking in the shadows of these lands that are built upon things far more ancient than you could dream of. I worry that something stirs afoot within Varisia. I've tried to talk to the other elves of Crying Leaf, but fell upon deaf ears. They're too busy. They're too busy either moping about what they once had here in these lands and is now gone, and that they must rebuild, or
Mm.
they are too busy. They're too busy thinking too much of what to do for their futures, and not seeing, at times, the dangers of the present. Such is the sad perspectives of sometimes sad perspective of the elves, which has done them just as much harm as it has done good. And she leaves it at that. And just as you finish reading it, Bethana, the elderly halfling maid, walks on by, and she's like, "Oh, it looks like you lot got yourselves very early into the spirit of the festival."
Mm.
She's like, "Well, they're going to be having the opening ceremony." And she gives you she tells you where it's at. She gives you directions to the cathedral. She's like, if you go out, she's like, if you go out this way and you head down Market Street and head over, she's like, you'll come to the cathedral, which is where they'll be having some opening speeches before the festival will begin. And since you guys appear to have filled your bellies and had good drink and smoke, I will be soon taking a break later for a drink and smoke for myself, and enjoying the festivities along with everyone else.
Thank you, ma'am, for your service. No doubt it has made the festival all the more enjoyable.
A pleasure. You have been very helpful. Any tips, sir? You copper.
She
Waylon
nods.
goes over
She nods
to
with
Rakim and
gratitude.
Nasir. When Waylon goes over to Rakim and Nasir, he goes, my kin in another skin. We need to have a conversation.
I can in another
My
skin.
kin in another skin. I like that.
The
Wait a second.
thing-
Why do
you
you say
don't-
that? That's mad innuendo. What the fuck?
I'm not gonna lie. If you didn't take leadership, I'm gonna be pissed off. This man got swag.
My kin in another skin. Do we know that he's not Elvin? Like, I feel like
I
that's
don't
still
even.
kind of.
Yeah,
I'm
we heard it
still.
from the accent because they speak in Elven, but they definitely their voices don't sound like the accent doesn't sound like human, and it
Well,
doesn't sound Elven. It doesn't sound like Dwarven.
I get what you're saying. I guess I'm
I'd say
trying
And we
to.
it's
I'm
also
very
trying
got the
to.
yeah.
letter. We
I'm
know,
trying to
we know from the
suspend my
letter.
disbelief and just accept them for who they are. But
Oh,
he's
they're
like, nigga, nah,
hobgoblins.
you
Like
got
we
to
know
explain
this,
this shit.
It's very nondescript. The accent.
right?
Yeah.
We know that they're not normal.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay.
so Waylon goes, we need to have a discussion here. See, I was thinking of a situation, right? Me particularly, I know a thing or two about stealth. I know a thing or two about moving without being detected. And I look at you too, I can tell by the way that you move with the spirit of the Red Lotus, right? I didn't pick up all of her skills, but it looks like you have. You taught me a thing or two a little bit when I was a child. Just didn't practice it as much as you did. But the others, maybe not so much. So I have an idea. If we ever had to infiltrate some sort of a fortress, because I hear those places have lots of gold in them. If we had to do such a thing, rather than make the others try to sneak around, let's just call a spade, right? We get some chains, you already have the whips. We pretend, click, click, clack, clack, and then you walk around, you pretend that you have us captured, and we sneak into such a place, right? I call that plan A. You don't have to give me credit for the plan when it works, but just make sure that you pay me out my extra percentage and go when it does.
Just looking about the money, so Quinn cuts in and he says, he goes, brother, you always have to find a way to make a quick gold off of somebody. You always try to find a way to make a quick copper piece off of somebody. We have just met these new people. Give it a rest. Let them learn us. I mean, I guess this is one way for them to learn you, but that makes you seem like you only care about the money.
Okay, well, back off. I just thought it was a good plan on my part, but okay.
It's a good plan. You come up with the best
It-
plans, brother. Trust me. We thank you for it. But keep the profit out of it.
I understand completely. I am here because the Red Lotus wills it so. Should Plan A sound like the best course of action, I am willing to go along with it.
As am I.
Is your friend okay? Nasir? I feel like he does not know the tongue. Have you been translating for Nasir?
I know Elvin.
Oh, what the fuck? Why did we say that earlier then? We said you didn't know you don't speak Elven.
No, he only has common and goblin.
I thought I took Elvin, didn't I?
You couldn't.
Oh no.
You start with
Damn.
he starts
I
with
guess-
common
I
and
guess his
goblin.
brother had to translate.
I thought we learned it
The
because we're
whole
in
letter
the
in Elven.
He
I thought we could- I
knows
thought we
he
learned
knows
because we're
he knows
in the
common and
monastery.
he knows common and goblin. His intelligence is +0, so he doesn't get any bonus languages. And he didn't put any ranks in linguistics, so he just has common and goblin. That's it.
Well, I
Okay.
think I speak Goblin. Hold up.
I speak Goblin.
Yeah, but none of us have
But
spoken
none of us
Goblin yet.
know you're Goblin
We have not-
speakers.
I don't
so-
speak Goblin. Damn.
There has been 0 Goblin speak.
Yeah, I
whole
don't,
night.
I don't speak Goblin at all. Sorry,
No,
Brody.
so no one else speaks Goblin?
Wow.
Kaladin?
Dwarven.
Kaladin. Do
Hold
you
on.
speak the goblin's tongue?
No.
Then
I
Quindemir
speak
says,
Orc, Sylvan,
Yeah,
Celestial.
we just gotta magically translate it. Don't even worry about it.
Quindemir then goes,
He speaks
Please.
Kaladin speaks Goblin, yeah.
Quindemir then says,
I thought we all took that just because we were in the monastery.
I thought there was a reason why
We can say he's still
Oh, I'm
learning.
sorry.
I learned
I do
this
speak Goblin.
God-forsaken language.
We can say he's still learning, and he uses a background skill next level for the Elven.
He's a little loose with the lips right now because he got drink and weed in him, so he's sounding crazy right now. But he said, "I knew there was a reason why I learned this God-forsaken language, but with the visions, I know you know what." I know you know what a meat bag is, and he says meat bag in Goblin.
Oh
We,
shit!
we
You
yo,
like switch?
hold on. We have not spoken any goblin. There is no reason for any goblin as to be
I see.
spoken.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
not once.
He's saying you
Not
wouldn't have
once
thought
has it
to
been.
talk Goblin because no one spoke
Nah.
Goblin.
Ain't
Right.
nobody spoke goblin here. Not once.
Right.
Oh, I didn't have any visions of them being Goblin. Aya?
No, you saw, like I said, shadowy figures. The only one you can make out clearly was your brother. The other four you weren't sure, but their silhouettes match the body shapes of everybody here.
Okay. All right. In that case, you saved yourself. I didn't say that. I didn't say meat bag. I thought I had a vision and I saw everyone already. Because I was like,
We know the drill. There is no goblin spoken here.
All right,
Right.
there's no
So
goblins.
that means
we
so
just
that means
still we just
basically
know
the
that
stuff.
you're not who you're not the tongue you speak. That's all we know.
Right.
I've been
And
speaking
we
Elven to
know that
you.
they're verified by mom.
Right. I've been speaking Elven whenever it's, except when I said I was speaking Common to Icarus. Nasir's probably been speaking Common the whole time, but no Goblin, nothing.
Is there a skill check that I would be able to discern? 'Cause remember, I got real close to you guys, not only to share my affection and infatuation with you guys, but remember when I put my arm around your shoulders? You don't feel Elven. You know what I mean? Like I'm interacting right now with the illusion. You know what I mean? I feel like I should be getting a will save to disbelieve. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you don't feel like
I mean,
me.
we're heavily,
You feel
we're heavily shrouded.
brolic, my nigga.
We're heavily shrouded,
Don't you
solid.
have like a
I mean-
5 head, my dude? Like, well, is there something wrong with this character's
Nah.
body? Like, I feel
We
like how
5'6".
stupid am I right now? Like, maybe it's the drink. It's the drink and the weed. I know it. You got me
like
fucked up, and now we're gonna bypass the
think like a
inquiry,
very
and then we're gonna
skinny,
just start
strong
questing. I get it.
and-
I'm willing to suspend my disbelief. It's just you have a
I
me
picture-
in the party.
yo,
It's kind of
Matt, you know what? You know how I picture you right now? Like I paid more attention to speaking Elvish because I took that in linguistics, and you right now, I picture you being like me with Jessica's family.
just hanging,
you
just
like
hanging
me with
out.
Jessica's
Like,
family.
My
Just hanging
wife,
out. Everybody
my
speaking
wife-
Spanish.
my wife is Colombian. They all speak Spanish. I understand what the fuck they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know it well enough to just spit it back out at them.
To spit it back out. Okay.
And
Okay.
I feel like that's the situation that Nasir is in. Is that like he knows, he gets the gist of what's being said, but he don't fucking know it well enough.
Got you.
Okay.
Just
All
spit it
right.
back
All
That makes
right.
out,
more
you know?
sense because they'll be like, "Dude, he spent mad times like
Yeah.
training, like and
That's what I'm
living
saying. I
amongst
feel like
Probably
he
elves."
still, you know what it
has
is?
to
He's
know
still.
something.
Well, here's the thing. We could just say he's still in the process of mastering it. By next
Yeah.
level, by next level, he can put a background point into the language and finish it out pretty much.
Yeah, I
Right.
hope so.
Because
Because
if he got
that's a
raised by elves, he would have had a hard time living, not knowing the
not
Right.
language
not
at
having
all.
not
He's
having
just
to
a
You know
speak
little.
what?
it.
It's just a little
And
slower for him. That's all.
and I'm
That's
gonna
all.
tell you that
Just
it's
a
not
little.
even that far fetched because like all the kids in the family growing up here,
Hmm.
they all listen to like their mothers yelling at them in Spanish, and every single one of them responds in English. They know exactly what the fuck they're being told,
Yeah,
and they just cannot say it back because they're
Right.
just too
right,
Americanized. You
Too
know, like
washed. I get
and
it.
right.
that's kind of like how I picture his situation right now.
Okay, all right. I could buy that. I could buy that. As long as he
Yeah.
didn't seem so. I guess the trigger for me to inquire more was when that's why I asked that question. 'Cause I was like, wait a second. I remember us saying that he doesn't know the language. So at some point, there's no way that he was engaged the entire time, right? The way everybody
Right.
else was. So maybe
I
there's a
really
reason for
wasn't,
that.
though. And that's why I interrupted. Just interrupted because I was trying to
There's
figure out what
probably
everybody was
there's
talking
probably
about.
definite
Oh,
cues
okay.
that he don't know
It
exactly
really
what to,
wasn't.
but
Right,
That
right.
was just
Alright.
frustration. Trying to figure
And
out.
remember, I'm still dealing with the masks too. So the mask is also
Yep.
hiding your what's actually going on in your face, like the body language that I could be reading.
All right.
oh yeah.
So
So
I
what do
don't
you,
want to seem like as if I'm,
what do your characters
yeah.
do?
metagaming or whatever. It's just kind of like
So what do your characters
you're
Mhm.
giving me reason to investigate. Like I don't know.
Hey,
You're
I get it.
curious.
Yeah,
get
I'm
it.
curious, bro. Like remember,
So what
we
are your
didn't
characters
share our
up to
classes and
next?
stuff, but I'm one of the types, you know.
You get the mask that kind of looks like a cloud.
I'd be
You
looking
just
for
angles
answers
there.
where there seems to be, none. That's all it is.
What
You know
is
what it is? Usually in situations where you come across like mysterious strangers, like whenever they have like that kind of aura, usually like there's some sort of threat, right? And so the mysterious stranger helps you defeat the threat. And so the trust is already built there, so you don't have to worry about like verifying like their identity to feel okay and comfortable.
It feels safe, right?
Right, the situation is they're already verified as something that's non-threatening. But as it stands right now, the first time we're meeting them, there is no threat. So they're the only anomaly in like the environment. They're just these two
Mhm.
brolic looking,
Brolic,
shrouded,
hidden-faced characters speaking Elven with a weird
right?
accent. This
We're
is
not.
exactly.
They
They're
look like
small. They're
fucking
small, diminutive. We're medium build. We're medium.
nah.
Not like
Oh, okay.
Compared to our physical build, we may be tall, but
yeah.
you're the one with the muscle. Get the fuck up out of here. You look like
My man
Right.
said, "I'm medium build. I'm slim. I'm
so,
slim thick."
You know
so
what I'm saying?
what's the group up to next?
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess after we finish, eating and
Finish our
we didn't
drinks
eat,
and
but
whatnot.
drinking.
Actually,
I
I gotta
I,
take
I
a
would want to start
shit.
investigating the city, so I could role play that if you want, but
Let's
that's
pick up
that's
and
what my
let's
interest is.
go.
My interest is to find
Alright,
out
well-
why the fuck am I in Sandpoint.
Icarus leads the way.
Puts her hood back on and leads them out of the door.
Oh yeah, Icarus is the guide, so
Mm-hmm.
So what she'll
Oh,
be
it's out. She,
doing,
like, leans out
all
the
right.
door
So
and
what she
shit.
does is like for a lot of the places, she points to like, all right, this is. You can see signs for the names of the streets as you're walking by. You can see, the signs for certain shops and other buildings. She points out like certain she'll point out like the identity of like certain buildings in town and who belongs to. So she's kind of like, I guess, see this as a way of like your characters gaining knowledge of the town, so that like when you ask me questions, as long as it's like DC 10 or lower, I'll be like, okay, make a check. Or if it's low enough, where I'll be like, all right, yeah, Icarus told you this. Or for somebody who does have a rank in knowledge local, that's going to be very useful.
I just want to say that whatever we're being shown, I am constantly on alert looking for fucking threats of any kind. Like
Got
my head is on a fucking swivel the entire time. And
And
that is just my nature. I am
so like
thank God
your
one of us is like
characters,
that.
when your characters
My
had
character's oblivious.
and when your characters had first walked out, like you notice like the area isn't as crowded as like a town would normally be in the morning times, but that's because as Icarus is leading you towards the town square, that's when things start to get more and more crowded.
Right. And are those people looking at me wrong? Because
A lot of
Yeah,
excitement is in the. There's an atmosphere. No, there's an atmosphere of excitement and business. Like there's anybody looking at your characters is like they'll do like a like a s- like a either a quick glance or like a very short-lived like stare out of curiosity. You don't seem to sense any hostility or anybody that sees your characters as like suspicious or anything like that.
Waylon leans over to Rakim and and he goes, "It's a festival. You're in costume. It's okay, right?"
Plus, you're with the town healer, so you know.
All right.
Did Icarus say that?
it
Yes.
it never hurts to be on your guard. The biggest threats come when you least expect them.
I agree. I
And-
agree.
And as you get closer to the town square, you can see a lot of people crowding the square,
Mm.
getting ready to
See me, son.
and you can see the brand new cathedral. Like you can tell it's newly built, you know, especially compared to like every building around the area.
Glad I don't have claustrophobia.
and you see as you get closer to the area, you see that they're getting ready to for welcoming speeches to be made. As you can make out a few figures standing like up by the where the steps of the church is at, like obviously very important looking figures.
Would
As-
my character
as,
know about them?
Oh yeah. The first one that you see about to step up is her name is Mayor. She's mayor of the town of Sandpoint. Her name is Kendra Devrin, and she makes her way up to the podium to present a welcoming speech, and we will
Stop it there,
stop
bro.
it there. Yeah, I was gonna say stop it there and continue with next week's session from.
Dude, Lewis is half asleep, bro. I've never seen him more hyped than this, bro. That shit's crazy. That dude is bopped. Damn, we missed Matt Johnson. That dude dipped already. Crazy.
See, I was just telling him, I was like, I'm lucky. See, Lou, the other game we were playing before my job interfered, I had to wake up to catch like a 5 a.m. fucking train.
Oh wow, that was
Damn.
fucking
Yes.
awful.
How late did you all
So
play?
I was on like 3 hours sleep when I
Oh
left
yeah,
y'all.
y'all played late.
I can only imagine, bro.
But now, I mean, I don't got to go to work until like 2:30 in the afternoon. So like I'm
Oh nice. So
Oh,
he's
okay.
chilling. He's
Right.
big
I
chill
work
right
a,
now.
I work a later shift, so I'm cool now.
Yeah, I gotta wake
Nah,
up.
that's
I gotta.
awesome, bro.
It's speaking of 5 a.m. That's about the time I gotta wake up. There's 3 more
Are
hours
you
left.
serious?
Yeah.
That's
Damn.
rough. That is
Yo,
fucking
well, thanks
rough.
for toughing it out with us, Lewis.
Yeah, really.
And then
For
I do it
real,
again.
Appreciate it.
And then I
That
do
was
it
an
again.
And either
awesome
way,
Well, I
this
do it
first
twice a
session.
week too. I do it again Thursday.
Yeah, bro. I know.
it's
I
only
know.
8:47 at night here,
Right, Mike's chilling.
Damn.
Like,
Yeah, Mike
but
is
it took
chilling
up
right
my
now.
whole evening. So
Wait,
now
where
my
the
wife's
fuck?
pissed at
Where
me.
the fuck are you?
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Oh my god.
He has to do this as he says Hawaii. He has to.
But yo, Mike, it was fun. It was fun playing with you, bro. Like I haven't played with you since
yo,
Hawaii.
for real.
I
I
know,
was
right?
like, damn,
what do you
Cabbage,
think?
after all these years, finally playing again.
Holy
Finally,
shit.
bro. Fucking finally.
Damn. I played
Yo, this
with
shit is
Dave
mad
before
fun,
I played
bro.
with fucking Mike. So it was good. Shit. That was very fun.
This is hella fun.
Yeah.
Damn, son. 2 D&D games in a week. How
I'm
lucky
looking
am I?
forward to this
This
shit.
shit about to be lit. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Y'all seem like a good fucking crew to play with. I'm looking forward to this.
Word. Definitely likewise, brother. I'm gonna see y'all
Alright.
niggas
All
later.
right.